Across the continent of Greater Banya, peoples of all walks of life share a common sense. A sense that something is approaching. What it is remains a secret to most, but they can feel it. Rumors of sickness spread in the south. A mountain flies in the west. An army of living flame marches through the desert sands, leaving a line of glass as their trodden path. Yes, these are the troubles set to welcome a god into this world. Behelit, the lidless eye, god of the searing light. She approaches and will not be deterred. However, a few know of her coming and prepare. A deadly and cunning thief, a champion of the mountain tribes, a cleric of chaos, a brilliant artificer, and a scarred soul whose past is catching up with him. Can these individuals save the rest? Can they kill a god? Can they save their friend? Can they each finally find a home? Let us together read the final chapters of these heroes. Charity, the first thing you hear is dripping. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And as your eyes sort of focus, and the last thing you remember was standing at the door waiting for this monstrosity to break it down and to fight with all those that were around you. You feel a giant pain in your chest. You look at your hands covered in blood, and your eyes are focusing on the many scars on your body, your ripped clothing, and you instinctually start to look around for those next to you. Before your hearing comes back, you see Clem standing over the limp body of Stormbringer, setting out very quickly candles, lighting them, trying nervously and shakily, attempting to read from a text. You think that this is a ritual to bring someone back to life, and you're so confused. And you look over to Ire. Whenever you cast Mold Earth, your hand, and about a third of the way up your arm, becomes gray and cracked. And it's a weird side effect from a spell that you've known for a very long time. And with your hand outstretched, you two now are sort of waking from a daze. And you see very slowly your hand and the stone receding off of it, and your eyes begin to focus on where you were pointed. And you see in the ground a large stone clawed hand holding Stormbringer, who again seems limp and lifeless. her already gray skin kind of a blue tinge. And you're breathing heavy, and you start to feel that sense of when you had just cast a spell and every molecule in your body tingles with like an electricity, and you feel that even receding a little bit. And like Charity, who you now lock eyes with, the sense of what just happened is really fuzzy in your mind. But that metal monstrosity that looked like it was going to kill everyone is gone. And you look to your left and you see Hikari slowly making her way out of a jail cell holding her own head. And all of you now also see Burbage over Clem's shoulder, just staring, mouth agape, at the still Stormbringer. You hear a murmuring as the senses fully return to you, and you hear the voice of Toro just kind of rocking slowly back and forth. Perhaps it was nothing, perhaps it was nothing, perhaps it was nothing, perhaps it was nothing. Clem, in this state, how well do you think you enact this ritual?
I feel oh, sorry. If you hear baby something crying, I apologize. um I feel like Clem is pretty good under pressure and also pretty good in weird situations.
Okay.
Where it's not like, she has a guy living in her head. She lived on her own in the woods for a long time. She's done a lot of weird shit with warlords and other things.
She went to a lot of parties in magical school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
this isn't the first time Clem's stood around a dead body with a bunch of candles.
that is so true. Yeah, just think about who she worked for and trained under. Yeah, so I feel like she's just kind of like, don't know what the fuck is happening or why, but I'm doing this now, so I'm going to put all of my concentration into doing it.
Okay. You hear the voice in your head trying to calm you down just a little bit.
And just back to him, I just say, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck?
We'll talk about it later. Focus. Your friend needs you.
This is the nicest you've ever been to me, thank you.
Burbage, what's sort of going through your head in this moment? You've, again, just come out of this. Everyone seems all of a sudden hurt and bleeding. Ire, you drop to your knees and just a splat of blood across the stone in front of you. What's going through your head, Burbage?
I think all Burbage remembers. He's circling back to the last thing he remembers as the thing was breaking through the door, which was this feeling, this fear, this very scary thought that for every glimmer of hope that Burbage has come across, that has been instilled, he is having trouble seeing a future with all of the people he cares about still in it. And now looking at Stormbringer in front of him, he's like, fuck, I was right.
Ire, your immediate sense is to make sure Charity is okay. But it's weird. It's almost as if the thoughts that were just running through your head a moment ago that you can't quite trace back to a source is also pulling your attention to Stormbringer. And it's confusing that you just met that person. What the hell is going on? And you look to your slightly older brother for some semblance of reason in all of this.
What is Charity doing right now?
Can Charity hear the Toro rocking back and forth saying perhaps it's nothing?
Yeah.
So I think if Ire, pretty quickly was looking at Charity, you're gonna see Charity look sort of It's just sort of the same confusion of looking around, trying to think, very clearly looking like he's trying to remember. Like that something there where why and as soon as he hears perhaps it's nothing, you're going to see Charity just like drop into a defensive crouch, flames surging up. Riddle Machina. Riddle Machina.
You start immediately counting the people. You see Hakari, you see Burbage, you see a limp Stormbringer, which you make a mental note. Got to get back to that in a second. You see Clem, you see Ire, you see Toro, you see an unconscious kobold.
I remember him.
Do not see a paladin, nor do you see the Gith woman anymore.
Great. Thought we were done with this bullshit. Yeah, everyone accepting Stormbringer okay-ish? Toro got some mental trauma going on over there?
He gives you a big thumbs up and kind of starts to mumble slightly quieter.
Know that feeling. Ire, you okay?
I think like Ire is right now. Do I still have any potions on me, Andy? Because I think in such pain and having just coughed up a nice old splatter of blood, I think Ire's probably grabbing something to try to take it.
You have a greater healing potion, full, and you have a regular healing potion, half.
Yeah, let me go ahead and roll that, and then I'll answer Charity's question.
Good. As you're rolling that, real quick, Hakari, you stumbled out of the jail cell, and you, Burbage, and Charity sort of briefly look at each other, and all three of you know exactly what this feeling is. You've felt it several times before. And Hakari, you instinctually look to Stormbringer, the one who's been able to weather this sort of memory fog the best. And again, you see Clem feverishly working on a ritual to bring Stormbringer back. Did you want to care for anyone or sort of jump on that ritual with her? Or
Well, first of all, I'm used to this feeling of not remembering anything because I'm blackout drunk most of the time.
True.
So when I'm just looking around, I'm like, what? I just say, what fresh hell of a Saturday night orgy fight gone wrong is this? And then I quickly rush over to Clem and Stormbringer and see if there's anything I can do.
Okay. You know Clem's spell very well, though Clem brings a sort of alchemist twist to it. It's a little bit more about being precise in some of the ritual than it is about like drawing upon ancient magics. But if you'd like, you could sort of at least be there in case Clem misses a step, though she seems to be doing excellent.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Ire, how you feeling?
So Ire will put his bottle down after thoroughly draining it very quickly. A little better now. You said something riddle machina and then we're on guard. What is this?
The Riddle Machina are essentially mercenaries, spies. They're a type of creature that they affect the memory of people around them. We stayed at an inn for like 2 weeks when we thought it was a day when one of them was there. I ate so much pastry. But time passes normally. Originally, we thought it was something to do with time, that we were looping back to the same day, but it's just we forgot everything up to that morning. So then when we got up, we thought it was that morning for like 10 days in a row. You really think at some point the people at the inn would have told us about this? But no. Uh, one of the two of them, either the Gith or the Paladin, must have been Riddle Machina. I want to say probably the Gith, but that's just because I liked her less. So, what's the last thing you remember? Minus the waking up right now.
I remember the the monstrously loud knocking at the door that seemed to go for a while, and then I remember what was doing the knocking, a giant machine
Yeah.
sort.
Okay, so
And
yes, we have the same set of memories. That's probably, it seems like Riddle Machina. So I don't hear any knocking, nor do I see something trying to murder us, and also Stormbringer appears to be dead, which I'm keeping an eye on how Hakari and Clem are doing with that, but just call me if you need anything.
They do seem to be doing great, and your eye does kind of lock on the kobold, who seems to be unconscious.
Charity's gonna poke him with a finger. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Flops over and his tongue.
Alrighty. Healing word on him.
Okay. As that then is occurring, Clem, the ritual is complete. You place your hands on Stormbringer's body, and then this sort of green energy whoosh washes from Clem's aura all over everyone, and then kind of sucks back in and settles above Stormbringer into a small little ball that just gently sinks inside. And then nothing. Stormbringer. You had once explained to a cow person that there was an idea in your tribes that every once in a while, when a heroic soul leaves the body, that it travels into the stars to be with the rest of their heroic kind. And as you open your eyes, you see an immense star field around you. You see blackness in between these spots of brilliant white. And then you feel a couple of these stars descend on you, drift near you, and sort of light behind you. As you turn around, you see the ethereal forms of your mother and your father. Your father's grinning wildly, like he's so excited he wants to say something, but he's waiting for your mother to speak. And she very calmly, Stormbringer, You've made it. You're a star among many stars that light the sky. You really are a warrior. And then your father, what was it like? What was your death like? Was it, it was pretty glorious, wasn't it? It was. And you're having trouble because as much as you would want to see them again, you have a better memory of what had just occurred than your friends had down there. You're fuzzy as you have transcended into another plane of existence. But you know the danger that they were in when you left. And it seems like your mother can sense this. That this is not a moment of celebration for you, but this is an intense worry, an immediate sense of grief, the weight of the entire world. You're still holding on. And she says, Stormbringer, look. And as she waves her ghostly hand in front of you, the stars begin to almost rip apart. And you see large green fields where you and the great horse spirits of your ancient tribes wait for you to run free for all eternity, to battle and to arm wrestle and to eat good food and to await your loved ones in a paradise that you know is not the reality of your friends at the moment. And this turmoil inside of you that begins to swirl at the longing for just a sense of rest after your hypervigilance over all of those that you've cared about. And that sense of dread as you're pretty sure you know what'll happen to them if they're left alone. And your father sort of smacks you, claps you on the shoulder. Are you okay, little one? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm fucking dead. I don't think I'm okay. We're... I think we're losing. I think we're losing the battle. And I think losing the war. I don't know how. I don't know how we're supposed to. Even with me there, I don't know how we're supposed to a fucking god. I think the world's fucked, and I think we're fucked.
Did I ever tell you how I died? Probably not, because I was dead.
Right, yeah, and I think I should probably know how you died. Because I was alive.
But your father's death was a secret to you.
Oh, okay.
There were rumors of it. Because he did leave at one point after your mother sort of kicked him out. He left the tribe. I attempted an elementation. My line comes from a great many Goliaths who could wield the power of the elements. Your great-grandfather could summon the wind to knock a pebble off the top of a mountain and cause an avalanche. I attempted to prove myself to your mother, to you, by obtaining these kinds of power. But I fell short, as many Goliaths do when they undertake an elementation. Fire was my downfall. There was a regret that I had died doing something selfishly. I hope you do not feel the same.
It wasn't selfish. It's not that kind of regret. It's that we're failing everybody. We're failing the whole world. The whole world is on our shoulders. Like, not even like metaphorically. Maybe metaphorically. Still don't really understand metaphors.
Who does?
Right, they're really confusing. But, like, the whole world is on my shoulders, our shoulders, but my shoulders. We're failing them. We're fucked. They have Roburn. Dawn Protector's gonna die. My family's gonna die. And I'm dead now. And I don't think I could stop it if I was alive, but everybody is going to die. And we're failing everybody. And I don't think I can do anything about that, dead or alive.
And your mother sort of glides in front of you, grasps your hands, and you can feel her for the first time in 4, 5, 6 years. It's hard to remember up here. That time you left her. She holds your hands in a very similar way. And she says, but you've earned your rest. How many times have you saved them? Over and over. How many blows did you take for Hikari? How many times would Burbage have got himself killed if it wasn't for you? And I know you don't know if they saw that sacrifice. But they did. We all saw it. You can run free with the rest. You can leave the burdens of that world to that world. If you would like, there is a field and a horse waiting for you. Or, and at this, from some impossibly distant star away, you just see a ping of white light that grows and expands, and like a wave, immediately, impossibly fast, whoosh, swooshes past you, and you feel a bit of a jerk, and your mother again. Your friends are calling you. You do not need to return. I cannot tell you that if you do, you will make all the difference in that world. I do not know. And there is no shame in sitting down and resting. And then whoosh, another white light. And this time that jerk feels a little less. And in fact, your body starts to feel just a little bit lighter. And then it seems like Stormbringer can make a decision to return to her friends that are cold, or to stop and rest. And again, then this is Andy asking Lena as well, and reassuring Lena, if you choose not to continue with Stormbringer, we can find a different character. We can move on to something else. You can obviously play if you would like to. We can work that into the story. But if you would like, the fields ahead of you sloping slowly up into the mountains, and the sun setting just behind them, it is enticing. What would you like to do?
I'm fucking tired. Everything I've been carrying, I'm carrying literally the whole world. I gave Burbage a sweater that fucking knit itself into his skin. Keep him alive. I don't have any more eldritch sweaters for him. So now I just have to fucking keep him alive with my own body. I quested to get Charity's body and bring him back to life when he was dead. We're still trying to save another brother, and I fought back to back with Akari so many times. She's gonna fucking die out there. And I think we're all gonna fucking die either way. I think we're fucked. But if I can still fight, I have to still fight. There's nothing else anyway but fighting. I don't think this is gonna fucking work. I don't think I can keep them alive. I don't think carrying everything, I'm enough.
You
But
don't,
there's not another option.
but there is. She gestures and even whistles, and you see a large white Clydesdale clomping up toward you. A horse that's actually big enough for you so that you don't feel slightly oversized on the top of it. It's beautiful. She says, he needs a good run. He's been waiting for you for a very long time. However, he could continue waiting. Your name, the one that we chose together that night when you got your name for the tribe. Stormbringer. It was that after that tiny, tiny little flower. And you hated it at first. Because it was a puny little flower, if I remember correctly. It was a little flower growing in the mountains every once in a while, and it died basically the same day. And that wasn't going to be you. Remember? And you and your father are not big on metaphors. But I tried to explain that little flower only ever grows in times of great change. And at that, your eyes lit up. Because for as long as your father and I have known you, you've always wanted to change things. You've wanted to be that change. I've seen you personally stare down a mountain troll that was about to eat a deer. And sure, that would have been the natural course of things, but you stepped in front of the natural course of things and you changed that fate. That is what your name is. If you return, you cannot return already defeated. If you have given up on that world, I suggest you stay here. And your father pipes in. But if you go back, and you could make a change to a doomed world. Wouldn't that be everything? And this light again from this distant star. Whoosh. You feel that time the wave was much weaker. And though you recognize this is Clem calling you, it's up to you how you would like to proceed.
I don't know if there's a world on the other side of this fight. The real fight. The war. Not this fucking battle, which apparently they won without me, so I guess that's good. I don't know. I don't know if there's a world where I get to raise my owlbear kids and, lay in a fucking field with Dawn Protector and Roburn and not fight anymore. I don't know if that shit exists. I'm not sure if there's a world anymore at all, honestly. But I'm not defeated. As long as I can fight, then I'm fighting. As long as there's the option to keep picking up my glaive and my axe and this fucking sword I carry around that I almost never use. As long as there's a fucking choice, then I'm fucking fighting. Even if the odds are really slim, I'm gonna try to keep them alive. And I guess carry the world and save the fucking world, because I don't know, maybe the world is worth something too.
As you're saying this to your mother, you see a rare smile occur on her ghostly face. You hear a bit of rustling behind you, and you sort of look, and your father is dancing up and down and jumping, and he sees you, and he kind of stops and tries to be cool. He brings out his sword and he starts sharpening it. And you, all of a sudden, you can't help but chuckle just a little bit. And then you hear it. Do you remember that welcoming song when people return from battles or from hunts, and it's to the untrained ear, it sounds like dogs barking and whooping, and it sounds to unrefined ears like gibberish, but to you it's always been a symphony of welcome. And there's also a song that they sing when you go to battle, and the tribe chases the horses of the warriors out. And again, that whooping and that barking is coming from the stars themselves around you, who are blinking in and out in wildly different colors. And you get just this sense of completeness about you. Like every star in the fucking sky is all of a sudden on your side because of just a small choice that you just made to not quite give up yet. Because that's the choice you always make. If you would like, you could return. You feel one more time that light coming from that distant star. And if you want, you could grab a hold of it this time and ride it back.
Okay, I'm gonna, but I want it to be like not like grabbing a hold of it. I want to be like fucking
Sure.
surfing on Bully on the light. Fucking cool as shit.
You summon Bully into this ethereal space, and he goes, "Fuck yeah." And immediately you leap upon his back, and then the two of you bounce impossibly high in the air. This turning this light around, sending it back to that distant source, and you are racing through the cosmos. Your soul is impossibly fast. Light cannot catch up with you, so that when you turn around, you see you and Bully behind you. And Stormbringer, you start awake, grasping for air. And you see Hakari and Clem around you. You're still constrained in this sort of rock hand. And you look over to Ire, because you know he was the one that did this. He saved you from what Charity did to defeat this creature. And Ire, you've been keeping tabs on Stormbringer this entire time. And when you hear her take a breath, you can't help it. There's something, you don't know if it's the sleep deprivation. You don't know if it's just some deep thing that is starting to resurface again after so many years. But you have to choke back just like a tiny bit of a sob, because you feel good, proud somehow. And immediately, this memory comes back, and you remember yourself bloody. You see Charity going up to this creature, and you look over at Charity in real life, and Charity, you also are starting to get a sense of what you did. Do you remember, Charity, what it was that you did with this creature to finally defeat it?
Sure. Asked for a door from fucking stranger's dagger. Fucking Faye! Ow.
In a desperate attempt to save your friends, Charity, you ripped a hole in space and time. This creature that looked undefeatable a moment ago is now crumpling in on itself, being sucked into that weird portal it had in its chest that it was using to send people other places. It became almost a black hole, and it started to begin to suck everything around it in. You remember, as you were doing this, barely making eye contact with Ire, who, though bloody and nearly dead himself, put all of his effort into casting a spell that kept Stormbringer from being sucked into that very hole as well. You molded earth around her. And Ire, as you're recalling all of this, and Charity, you're starting to get that as well. I think, Ire, maybe confusion is one of your first emotions. Because that's not like you. And that doesn't make sense. But friends, Stormbringer is alive.
Clem is going to immediately just like pump her fists in the air and just say, "Yeah, death has no power in my presence."
Burbage just falls to his knees and is just holding on to Stormbringer's leg, I guess. Does his arms even fit around Stormbringer's leg?
Probably not great.
Ankle,
You sort of-
maybe.
Like a tree trunk.
Yeah, you sort of squirm out of this this stone grasp from Ire. Ire, as you start to see again life, you start to see Charity bringing life back into this small kobold creature. The giant minotaur in the corner is leaning on Hikari, who's been patching up some of the wounds there. What's going through your head in this moment?
Ire's gonna kind of like massage his brain. The rush of like half memory, like he knows. I know I did this. I still feel the tingle in my arm. And I'll cast Mold Earth again to, dissipate the, rock enclosure around Stormbringer. But why? And I think, honestly, I think Ire's just gonna take a little bit of a moment, to parse through his thoughts, his memories, because, outside of Arisa, Ire's only had to ever care for himself for the last, however many years. It's just, what do I need to do to get by? It's not ever been putting his life at risk for another person. So I think he's just going to kind of sit back for a sec, reevaluate.
I think Charity would get up from. This is terrible. I don't know Bobolt's name.
Splash!
Yep.
Right. Clash is the duo name. Charity will sort of stand up from that and take a step to the side and sort of gently lay a hand on Ire's like upper arm, so not controlling in any way, but just like patting and just sort of like squeeze his shoulder. Thank you. and then sort of stumble down the stairs to hug Stormbringer, but he's not very coordinated. He probably trips on Clem.
Fair.
He's bleeding
Burbage
very
just
heavily.
Catches them both as they're falling.
Burbage is kind of like just like sobbing in the Stormbringer's leg, like, Stormbringer, I thought you were gone.
Well, I mean, I've got this fancy necklace from charity, right? So I think it gives you like at least a year or something. I don't know. I'm good. I would never leave. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave you while we still have this fight and this war to win. I wouldn't. You all need me, and I guess like the fucking world needs us or some shit. I don't know. I think we gotta keep fighting, right? No, I'm not. I'm here. Hug Burbage awkwardly because he's hugging my leg.
And I assume Charity, Clem, Hikari sort of all join into this massive Stormbringer sandwich.
Anybody who's reluctant to join, Burbage snaps his fingers out. Get over here.
Hikari, because you've had a slight past with Ire, as everyone's sort of wiping a few tears away and buried their faces into this giant group hug, your eyes drift over to Ire, who's standing there alone for the moment. And what does Hikari see? For Ire.
What do I see?
I think it's for Sam to describe.
Oh,
Technically a
okay.
question for
That's
Sam.
what. Sorry, I was like, I'm not sure.
Sorry, I looked at Sam, but none of you can fucking tell.
You sure did look at a part of your screen.
Well, I was like, oh, so Hikari is becoming DM now? Hikari gets to decide what Ire is doing? All right, let's go. No, this sort of, unbridled familial gratefulness is so deeply foreign of a concept to Ire, who, has only ever really had a good relationship with a very few number of people. And so to see, this sort of big open embrace, jovialness, like, in some respects he gets it. Hey, we all just survived, I guess. But I think, there's still like an overwhelming sense of direness about the whole situation. And honestly, I think he's just feeling this moment and that fleeting feeling he had of joy, that there's like some deep absurdity to it all. So I think, if anything, Hikari just probably sees Ire like kind of clutching onto his mold earth arm and laughing at it as he kind of maybe walks down this hall.
I'm curious because I would love to know this. Tell me if I'm wrong, Sam. How does Ire feel about seeing a tenderness and charity all of a sudden with these people that is not really the charity you know, or the Caloran you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that there is a quite a bit of almost betrayal, like, oh hey,
That's yeah.
I had, like, I am your blood family.
Yeah.
And yes, you have come to rescue me, but after how long? And I still don't know that for certain that it wasn't done just for some other reason. Like, oh, he wasn't rescuing me because I am his brother. I still feel like I am being rescued because there is something else. You know, some other purpose. And, you know, he has chosen this group that he has called his, you know, family over his actual blood family, which I do think that, you know, for as genuine as I am able to understand his relationship is with these people, it does still hurt.
Fascinating. Well, friends, you are beat the fuck up. And you know what? That was a cool cold open. Let's introduce people finally. Hey everyone, welcome to Helpful Goat Gaming presents Fates of Ryn, where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons. And we've been on summer sabbatical and maternity leave. Mostly me, but also a bit of Rachel. I'm kidding, mostly Rachel. And hey, everyone's don't get me wrong, everyone's really tired, and most people have at least have had COVID in the last few weeks or something like that. So we're all doing really rough. But it was really awesome to get to we're not quite done, but it's really great to come back and start again with this. And hey, let me introduce the people you're looking at. First of all, I'm Andrew Gilbert, he, him, and I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. But I'm not alone. With me, as always, is Galway, playing the Tiefling Sorcerer Charity.
Hey everybody, I'm Galway, pronouns he, they, and I play Caloran Charity of the Family, whose pronouns are he.
We have Lena playing the Goliath Barbarian Stormbringer.
Yeah, hi, I'm Lena, and my pronouns are she, her, and Stormbringer's pronouns are also she, her.
Darcy, I know the name of my spouse. Darcy, playing the Tiefling cleric Hakari.
Hey, I'm Darcy, and my pronouns are they, them, and Hakari's are she, hers.
Clem playing the gnomish artificer. Sorry, fuck it. That's what my pause was with Darcy, because I immediately went to characters. Rachel playing the gnomish artificer Clem.
Yes, hi, I am Rachel, and both Clem and I have she, her. And if at any point you hear too many baby sounds, just let me know and I will mute myself.
Okay.
Not
Adam,
from me, from the baby that's over there.
okay, that's much different.
Mhm.
Adam playing the halfling rogue Burbage Kemp.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, Adam here. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him. I play Burbage. His pronouns are he and his. And this is like so many prestige TV shows have an episode a ways into the show where the opening title screen doesn't happen until like 45 minutes into the episode.
That's absolutely what we just did.
Fargo did it.
Yeah.
You know me in Fargo.
We all know you in Fargo. And joining us for a few sessions, Sam playing the, I don't know if it's been announced exactly yet, Ire. Tiefling, Ire.
Hi everyone. My name is Sam. I go by both he and they pronouns, and Ire goes by he and him. And also, if you hear baby noises from my end, then something has gone horribly wrong.
Or horribly right.
No, I think we're wrong.
Horribly right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's also really quickly, I think, take a moment and just explain what the hell also just happened. Because if you're listening to this on a podcast, maybe this makes sense. We've jumped in time a little bit before. Also, if you were here the last time we streamed on Twitch, things went just a little differently this time. Partly because we do this from time to time because it's a hassle and we're all very busy and we're all very tired. But sometimes getting the episodes on time before Twitch deletes them over to YouTube and like the recordings and stuff can get messed up. And so technically we did lose the last episode that contained the fight with this giant horrible metal thing. and we've been kind of racking our brain about how to do it. And in fact, that's why we were a little late tonight, because we were having a good discussion about not only about sort of my vision of what I kind of wanted to do with getting us to make sense of what just happened, but also making sure like everyone was cool and felt like they sort of knew what was about to occur, and that we had good character moments from that episode that were either completely reconstructed, like our death scene with Stormbringer, or at least like really hit upon and in like memory sequences and stuff like that. And so yeah, so we were kind of racking our brain about how best to do this, and because the moments were so good, I really certainly wanted to push for, as best as we can, try to keep that in the narrative and like let it happen organically. And we also just kind of wanted to mention, because it's slightly weird, just like what was occurring and why we were also a little bit late getting in here. So yeah, I just kind of want to flag that, and also because again, I think the story is going to kind of move on from here. Does anyone have anything from the last episode that we didn't sort of get to that you thought was a cool moment? Or
So
I think
I have one.
Stormbringer going through the lava plane.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Yes,
that was
we
cool as
need to mention
shit.
that.
Like I
Oh.
think that
Yeah.
needed to at least be mentioned.
Stormbringer
Agreed.
took half of 388 damage from touching
Yeah.
lava.
Because I decided to fucking I grappled the metal construct thing
Yeah.
when it was doing its like fucking teleporting shit. But it's not actually teleporting, right? It was moving through elemental planes. So I
Yeah.
fucking grappled it and moved through like the plane of fire with it and just like rode it through the lava. Fucking epic. Also, I nearly died. That's not actually what killed me,
Well,
but I
not
nearly
actually.
died.
It was a big part of what killed you.
Oh, that was
Also,
cool.
also, Clem had a moment where they figured out, oh, holy shit, this thing is like essentially a jailer, and it wants people in cells. And so
Yeah.
once Rachel figured out, oh shit, once people are in cells, it doesn't try to attack them.
I'm glad people listen to Clem too.
And a couple people listened to Clem.
Mhm.
And also,
Well,
it was toward the end of the fight.
It started with Hikari was kind of smashed, like thrown
yeah.
clear across the room into a cell. And the warden, which I don't know if the characters knew that it was called the warden, but the lost episode was titled "The Warden Arrives." But yeah, the warden said after Hikari smashed into the cell, "Excellent, one in prison," which I thought was pretty good. When Stormbringer got back from the lava plane, the one cool moment, I think, but kind of funny moment that Burbage had was hitting the warden with Bright Fang and then splashing a superior healing potion on Stormbringer. And I gave him a Samwise Gamgee moment. And I had him say, I won't hold on to it, Stormbringer, but I will hold on to you.
Oh,
Silly.
And of course, some of the most epic moments we wanted to make sure that we got in, which was Sam and Ire essentially saving Stormbringer from getting sucked into a black hole, and Charity using the dagger's sort of malfunction that it's been having lately to tear essentially into space and time.
Because Charity figured out that from Stormbringer's state that it was using essentially a form of demiplane in order to move, and also knows the traditional effects of crossing a demiplane with a demiplane. So feigning going back to a cell, stumbled forward, slipped the dagger into its core, and asked it to find him a door.
Yeah.
Wasn't
so brilliant.
really expecting the giant black hole, though.
Oh, well. I suppose that was my addition. Yeah, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to kind of flag what was sort of going on. And then also right now, just imagine the characters trying to unhash all this as well. Stormbringer remembering a bit more, Toro and Splash having no clue what's going on. This is they've not encountered this effect very much, even though it seems like while there are remnants of like bloody pieces of armor from the paladin, you kind of remembered that she got sort of sucked into a different plane or something, at least the black hole at the end, which also we should note that some of us don't remember exactly what happened.
I was gonna say, and she saved Charity.
She did, yeah. She was good and everything. You also, especially Stormbringer, started to piece together that the Githyanki woman seemed to be a part of that riddle machina, and as she fled in her true form, this caused most everyone to have trouble with remembering the fight and what occurred. Yeah, so for our last little stretch here, friends, you have survived an incredibly powerful enemy. Some of our not Arbin, oh shit, what's his name? Anton, Toro, and Splash are all still alive. So you were able to save them.
I will say, hardcore fans of the podcast will recall that this is not the first time that we've gotten creative with recapping. Season 1, episode 36. It's called In Search of Lost Time. So we had to do it then. I think we had to do it one other time, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So this is not unprecedented. Goats and Dragons has a rich tradition of compensating for our technical failings,
and
in creative ways.
And we built into the story a thing that can just happen every once in a while to make everyone forget. So hey, you know what? If you were here during the stream, you got to experience actually the horrible fight that occurred. And now it wasn't. It was rough. But everyone did so amazing.
Teleporting in fire.
And then
we came close to losing that fight. Like, to be clear, for the recapping it for people who will never hear that fight, if Charity hadn't sucked it into the black hole, I think it would have swung. Or people would have had to hang out in the cells and recuperate for a while, and Stormbringer would have been dead for a hot minute. It was going super tits up.
Charity has 20 HP. This is having been unconscious and the paladin laying on hands on me.
Yeah. Ire, I think, was down to single digits.
8. I had 8 HP.
8 HP.
I'm in
But I
triple digits
also think
still.
I think I got knocked out at one point.
You did.
Too.
I think both of us got KO'd.
I pretty much did no attacks that fight, and I was 100% support, and I
you did a
did
good job with it.
fuck tons of healing to a lot of people to try to. I got Ire up, and I definitely did some big ones on Stormbringer as well.
Some big ones.
And
Some big ones.
And now Toro needs therapy.
Yeah. Wonderful. And so, friends, you're not exactly sure how long you were out of it. Surely the fight didn't last more than like 15 minutes. That would be wild.
I mean, the fight didn't last more than a minute.
Right, but like, how long in your stupor were you sort of there before everyone kind of woke up? It's slightly difficult to tell. So you're not exactly sure what time of day it is. It should be morning-ish.
But Ire still had like physical effects of the spell.
He absolutely did. Yeah. So unless like there's a weird thing where the magic was lingering constantly until he woke up, you're pretty sure it's
which we haven't. I know we don't know this in terms of Ire, but like from Charity's experience with the Real Machina before, there's no indication that like time actually stops.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
We took a 2-month break, so refresh my memory. Why the fuck are we down here? Are we trying to find the cigar box?
Yes.
We were trying to find
Ire.
And Ire.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one.
Yeah.
And we need the other. Okay.
But I think we've decided Hi. I think that
Hi.
we have decided to only like do like a cursory look for the cigar box from here on out because we need to. Oh no,
Only if
'cause-
Ire knows where the Hellfire is. Otherwise, we can't. We can't win this battle. We can't win this war.
but I thought we had to go right now to
We don't
because
have
No,
like
to-
so we have 3 days. We've been granted a 3-day reprieve.
okay.
Because the big
I
bad
couldn't
man
remember.
really needs us to come to dinner for some reason.
On very
And we're
particular
really
dates.
upset now on very particular days.
So-
yeah, I believe
like,
we were
in an
going to
ideal
break
world-
into there beforehand, right?
Right.
Yes, I
In
was
an
gonna
ideal
say.
world, we will find the cigar box, find the Ponway fire, the Hellfire with Ponway, break into Yizik's place before those 3 days, save the people that he's got captured, kill Yizik, and then get the fuck out of town.
Revive Yizik. Kill him again.
No, waste the spells. But
She gets it for free once a day.
But so far, the only part we have on the checklist is find Ire.
Okay. I had thought there was a time constraint for the cigar.
Originally,
box,
originally there had been when we were still potentially trying to
But-
get back up,
gotcha.
but we were like, this is dumb. There's no way we can get there. We
So we asked
might
to
as
postpone
well
dinner.
just see if we can delay. What's the worst that happens?
Right.
He tries to kill us. He's probably doing that anyway.
Right. And also, sorry, I didn't mean cigar
Yeah.
box. I meant stick purse.
Sure.
Right, stick purse. And P-Meister. We're not
code.
looking for Ponway, we're looking for P-Meister.
Oh god.
Wow, that's a deep cut, isn't it?
I've
P-Meister.
been calling him that for a while.
I don't remember the last time I heard.
Several months ago, but
Probably, yes.
Friends, for the moment, everything seems taken care of. Splash, Toro, and Anton kind of go back to their little camp set up in the room, which isn't a big camp. It was just like a single tent that they kind of stayed with the Githyanki woman. And so like they're kind of getting their stuff around and have at least said they'd like to get out of this hellhole.
Hey, what happened to your friends?
Who are you asking this of?
Those people. Just in general, because aren't there 2 of them missing?
Yeah, I think I remember. Stormbringer helped me remember. One of them got sucked into the. They're gone.
Yeah,
They
I
were
think I
really
was
nice.
dead for that part.
You said you saw it from the great beyond. I don't know how it
Okay,
works.
yeah, I saw it from the Great Beyond. One of them got sucked into the black hole. I think it was the paladin. I don't remember her name. I don't know who
Lenestra.
that- Yeah, sure.
Glenestra.
It sounds like a medication. Have we made that joke already? I think
I think
so.
you did.
Yeah, I have.
I think Burbage did.
Well, perhaps it's nothing. Hard time remembering. But
That's a side effect.
That's
of
a side effect of
Clenestra.
I don't remember.
Do I remember a Gith woman? Do I actually remember a Gith woman?
Yeah, she was with you prior to the memory stuff, certainly.
Do I know where she went?
No.
I don't know where the
Um,
fucking Geth went.
Splash at this point kind of speaks up. Ah, yeah, her bag is gone. I think she just fucked off.
Yeah, she seemed like she sucked.
Yeah.
How long were y'all traveling with her?
Oh, only about a week.
Do you have any gaps in time that you can't recall things while you
I
were with her?
Honestly, this was our first fight together. And you did good, big guy. And he pats Toro.
Have you ever thought about maybe having better taste in people that you work with?
I mean,
Toro's
that's
good.
how you get to know him, right?
Yeah, how did you meet up with her? She was probably, I guess also Lunesta could have been the perhaps it's nothing. How long did you know Clunestra?
Oh, she hired us to come down here. Evidently, Anton and Toro worked together before. but they hired me because I'm good at getting in and out of places pretty easily.
And any weird gaps in time since you met her?
Not really. No,
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, how would I know? I suppose.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
you're
we've only
not
been
very
down
good at
here
this.
6 days. Is that
Yeah?
right?
Does that
Okay,
seem
then.
right by the number of rations you have left?
Well, we ran out of rations yesterday.
Yeah, is that what should have happened?
I wasn't in charge of the rations.
Who packed the rations and how much?
Clinestra.
Okay, this is wildly unhelpful.
So I'm sorry, I don't
So
know.
like one of those women was a perhaps it's nothing mercenary thing. Probably hired by the bad folks that are doing bad things to fuck with us. So I don't know. Be on the lookout for any missing food and missing chunks of time.
Anton's looking through his bag. And missing items, it appears.
Yeah.
She took most of the good stuff. Shit.
Okay, so it's probably the Gith one then.
I mean, maybe. Sure. Could you point us to the direction out of here?
Charity's just going to point at the ceiling.
Wildly unhelpful, to quote your friend.
You got here, right?
Well, yes. Clinestra had a sort of secret way down here, but
Were you awake when you took it?
Yes, but she had a map. I figured she knew the way around here the best.
So I'm just going to say that if you're crawling into subterranean, very secure areas, it's probably a good idea to not have a single point of failure for getting out.
Yeah.
This would be like going rock climbing and only one of you brings rope.
You're muted.
Oh. I did a really funny joke that Darcy laughed at.
Oh,
Excellent. Lost.
It's lost
lost to time.
Perhaps it's nothing.
Perhaps it's nothing.
Probably was.
Well, do you guys just want to travel out when we leave? We're probably about to go, all right? Also, Stormbringer, when you died temporarily, the sweater you gave me kind of slackened, which was kind of horrific in the moment, but also kind of a relief. And now that you're back, it's a bit tighter than it was before. So do you have any kind of control over it? Is this like a remote kink thing where you can you just kind of give me a little bit of breathing room? Because it's just kind of like,
what?
it's just kind of constrictive. Can you like loosen the sweater?
What? A remote what?
Kink. I said kink.
What is a remote kink, Burbage?
I cannot be the only one who's gotten involved with magic users in a sexual way.
Toro raises his hand.
He knows what I'm talking about.
No idea what you're talking about, but I'm not sexually attracted to you if you're coming on to me.
I'm not coming on to you. I'm just trying to be able to breathe better.
Is that a euphemism?
I don't think so.
When we were making out earlier, he did get out of breath very quickly.
Oh,
That's
he
just because
needs
he's
to do
out
more
of shape.
cardio. Yeah. I carry him everywhere.
You're going to stop making me walk more on our adventure.
Yeah, he hasn't done a march in at least a month.
Listen,
It's
just
all
so you know,
teleportation or Stormbringer pack.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe it'll ease up on its own. But yeah, maybe just meditate on.
I think it's just part of you now, Burbage.
Oh no. Okay. Well, let's get the fuck out of here.
Don't we still have a job to do?
Yeah, but we could do that on the way out, right? I mean, right? We're
that's the
done
kind
with
of the
this
thing.
area.
Well, like, yeah, we can do that, like, on the way out of this prison, but we gotta stay underground. It's like the morning. I've only got 1 HP. Anyway, it's like the morning, and we have a lot of day to get through. We have deadlines to hit, people. Deadlines.
So
I want to do a short rest and then hit our deadline.
let's
You
take
just hit your deadline, and now you're back.
Ah,
I don't know what that means.
too soon.
Stormbringer,
Yeah.
how are you feeling? And Lena, how many hit points do you have?
I mean, I think 1, right? When I'm resurrected, it's just
Yeah.
1 HP. Yeah.
Okay,
We should.
I have
I'm gonna
We should
heal
probably
you.
rest.
But don't use spell slots because we can do a short rest, and I have my hit dice.
Okay.
So let me do that instead.
Okay.
Because I do intend, as Lena, to have us get more into this day before we log rest, because we have deadlines.
I think Charity will probably like follow back to the main room where we'd sort of set up camp the night before, and like while slowly packing stuff up, also be doing a short rest.
Sure. And does anyone want to do anything during the short rest? To have conversations with anyone, or yeah?
So Ire was like, and we were all in the room when the automaton crashed through the door. Anybody
Sorry,
else
real-
getting
real-
constant beeps?
Yeah, that's
It's
everyone
the
rolling
dice.
hit
They
dice.
added
Yeah.
new noises, right? These are not what the noises used to be.
It's the same noise.
It's really loud. I don't
I-
feel like it used to be that loud.
Yeah, maybe.
Nothing's changed on my end, so it might be your audio settings changed slightly.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not critiquing you.
Do you want me to wait until after all of the hit dice were rolled?
Just real quick, people are keeping track of hit dice because I know we've
Yes.
used a decent amount already
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
I'm sure
Mine is up to date, and I'm just
We
I'm
just long rested too, so that we should have gotten half back.
And I usually I try to only use half. I might have to use more this time.
What?
Cool. All right, sorry, Sam. Who would you like to have a conversation with?
Nobody.
What would you like? Nobody.
Ire has been down here for some number of months, and he's just been kind of, hermetically sealed in this space.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows he's somewhere deep underground, but he's not making a break for it, but I think Ire wants to see what is on the outside of this main door, and try to get some kind of oxygen that is not this dank, decrepit whatever he's been breathing in all this time. So I think he would try to get to the other side of this door, assuming it's still broken in.
Absolutely, it is. It's a massive door with giant stone locks. This should not be. This should not be able to be broken in the way that it is. If it cracks, it's going to crack in like one slab, like one giant crack, and then it'll kind of fold in. But this thing is like shattered. The force that broke this in was immense, and took a lot of energy. So as stepping outside of that, even though this is sort of an underground area, it is much more open air than what you're used to, and it feels like fresh air to you. You take a deep breath in, and while magically a few of the torches have been lit all of a sudden outside as you step out, you just barely get a sense of the light just skimming off some of the larger structures in this area, that seem to be sort of large stone towers that reach up to a ceiling much higher above. The paths that have large lamps that magically light up as you get nearer to them. You do see a few of them kind of going off every once in a while in the distance.
I think Ire's just gonna like slouch down against the stone behind him.
Yeah.
Like I can hear everyone,
Mhm.
all jovial and such inside now that they're all alive and healing and getting ready for a nice short rest.
Hear them rolling their hit dice.
Over and over again. You just hear small moans.
Ire knows that, like, he has no idea how to get out of here, so he's not, getting gonna stray too far from the group.
Yeah.
But I think he will kind of sit down, loosen the laces on his boots of the Leviathan. And maybe I think he's gonna just kind of put his hands in his coat pocket and caress a stick purse.
You son of a bitch.
What?
Son of a bitch.
A voice that you are somewhat familiar with, as he has been one of the only companions you've had any conversation with. Very softly and magically from his protected dimension, says,
I told you I was right about them. I knew it.
I'm scandalized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you even want with them?
Exactly what they're doing.
Do you want to say hi?
Not yet, I don't think. I think the time will present itself to us.
Still as withholding as ever.
I should be revealed.
And I think Ire will, after a few minutes, will get back up and kind of get closer to the group and kind of curl up against a wall and doze off for a little.
ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to top that. I think we should probably call it there.
Yeah.
Really well done. Again, I just kind of want to acknowledge, not easy, sort of recreating a little bit of that last episode and then kind of recapping in even just somewhat of a natural way. I hope the players were pretty okay with it and that it worked out really well. You all had really cool moments, and I'm really glad then that we got to that, Sam. That was so cool of an ending. And hey, we're back from break. Rachel has a baby, and I think I think we'll be playing again.
I have 2 now.
Fairly soon. 2, yeah.
We
I forgot
play
about
next week.
the other one. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding. You know,
Forgot about Marlo.
helpful
How
goat baby.
dare you? Yeah, that's right. She's your future overlord.
Yeah. Not joking. So yeah, when's our next one? I'm sorry.
Next week.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that'll be much more of a normal episode. And we'll get back into the swing of things. Who knows then what's going to happen or what
Probably
situation.
we wander the fuck around down here trying to find the thing that's in Ire's pocket.
Yo, what the fuck,
While the
Conway?
asshole living in the cigar box is like,
Okay,
oh no,
does he know
later,
that we're
there'll be a
looking
chance
for it?
later.
My notes for this,
Get mauled
say
by a
Conway
beholder.
also doesn't want Ira to tell us he's there yet. So I guess we'll just wander around like in all caps. Assholes looking for him. What the fuck, Conway? Why are you like that? What the fuck, Conway?
Yeah, there's other stuff down here too.
Gonna conjure a fucking magical weapon in the shape of him just to punch him again and again.
Please.
Ire, as you're sort of taking a nap here while everyone's kind of resting and getting things around, you don't have much to get around because you don't have a lot of belongings.
No.
Yeah, you just hear that voice say, "Oh, by the way, please, as the monkey that Ponway has his name."
Yeah. Poems
But
monkey, right.
not a monkey.
What? He always looks like a monkey. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not a thing you need to say about an actual monkey.
We know. Somebody told us that it's not a monkey.
Yeah, and someone was also like, that's not a monkey.
Anyway, we'll pick up there next time. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Again, thanks, players. Everyone, have a great evening. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye,
Bye,
bitches.
y'all.
Bye.
Good night, bitches.
Good night, bitch.
Lonely she walks down beside the green river. My lady she was, and I bend my knee. One divine, my seraph, my heart to deliver. She gives me a small flower that I call Doom Lily. I love so completely, so true and so sweetly. But know that our story is so short it must be. Every time that you show me that blue and white flower,